Welcome back, students. My name is Marcia Kokis, and I am one of the librarians here at St. Francis. I'm here today to talk to you about avoiding plagiarism in OrgChemLab. And you may be thinking, oh, I already know about avoid plagiarism from Core 113, but there are a few extra considerations regarding lab. Scientific research, as this quote indicates, has an extra level of responsibility for you because even though your research may at times seem like a very small piece or you know, not momentous in any way, it does have the potential to impact human beings, our planet, in in a broader way. So here at St. Francis, while you're learning how to do labs and in your career further down the road, you will need to conduct your research at the very highest level of academic honesty and integrity. So plagiarism, if you recall, this is the definition from the St. Francis University academic honesty policy, specifically mentions that plagiarism is an idea, phrase, or other materials from a source without proper acknowledgement of that source, and using those ideas or phrases deliberately or unintentionally. And I emphasize this so that you recognize that you cannot plead, I didn't know it was plagiarism. You need to be sure you're not committing plagiarism. The policy also specifically mentions laboratory reports, and it specifically mentions that you can't use material that has been copied from the work of other students with or without their knowledge and consent. This means that even if your lab partner says, here, you can copy my lab report. I know you had a hard week, you were sick, whatever the reason, that is not a reason to to not be accused of plagiarism. You and the student who gave you their work have the potential to receive consequences for doing that. The other consideration that is different from regular academic work in lab is the fact that you're collaborating initially. You're working with your lab partners, classmates, together on the lab, and then you are expected to write your lab report independently, individually. And that's a big line right between those two parts. Yes, you're working collaboratively, but then you must cease collaboration and begin your lab report individually. And that is mentioned under cheating in the policy, an assignment where collaboration is not specifically assigned by the instructor, and that is the part about writing your lab report. You are instructed to write that independently by yourself. Nor can you coach another student in that writing of the lab report. So this is spelled out again in the policy. You have been informed of the policy and you are expected to adhere to the policy. A quick list of do's and don'ts in regard to avoiding plagiarism. Again, do work independently unless specifically instructed to work with others, and do cite your sources appropriately. And the next part of the screencast will talk about exactly how to cite. This next part is important. Do not fabricate or falsify data. Discuss how to handle poor data or lack of data with your instructor. So this means if your lab went awry and for some reason you don't have good numbers, you are not to manufacture these numbers or results. You need to discuss how to handle that with your instructor. Do not copy or paste material into an assignment as if it were your own work, nor divide the workload unless you're told to do that. And again, don't jeopardize another student's academic integrity by asking for information or giving your work for them to copy. And I think it's obvious that you do not make your graded material available to another student or website. So we've discussed two differences regarding avoiding plagiarism in a lab environment, and those are the fact that your scientific integrity is on the line and you want to be sure to be the most honest and have the most integrity in that regard, and the fact that you're working collaboratively at first, but then need to move to an individual operation. So the other piece to avoid plagiarism are these three words: cite your sources. And as you recall from Core 113, that involves using citations to attribute the source of ideas or results that are not your own. So back in your English classes, you used either the APA or the MLA or perhaps Chicago style. Here in OrgChemLab, you will follow the American Chemical Society guidelines, ACS. And there are two places on the library website where you can access information regarding how to do that. The first place is from one of our LibGuides. You will go to the library homepage, and the little picture here shows you the blue rectangle menu, accordion menu, and you would choose research guides. The next part of the screencast is going to show you the exact steps. And the other place is also accessible from the library website, and it's the ACS, American Chemical Society journals database. There's also information in that place regarding how to cite. So there are two more parts to the screencast. The second one, like I said, will go through how to locate and use these, and then there's a final segment.